Hey everyone, I'm Chris.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome to the Gamers Hall. And today we're going to be talking Tasha's Cauldron of everything. But specifically, we're going to be getting into the Feats.
Feats. That's the thing that everybody either really likes or really doesn't like. Where you could use it to up the power of your character or add actual flavor to what you're already trying to do. It's a little bit of the spice in the dish that is your character.
Yeah, because having just one feat, could actually ramp up the roleplay value of your character, because maybe that's what you design your whole character about. Or maybe it just gives you that extra little bit of damage or protection that you're looking for. But either way, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so now we're going to talk about Metamagic Adept. And what this does is you can choose 2 metamagics from the sorcerer metamagic options, and you also gain 2 sorcery points, but these sorcery points can only be used on metamagics, meaning you cannot use those 2 points to gain additional spell slots.
Yeah. So this one is, well, it's going to really shine for sorcerers. Sorcerers having more metamagic options and more sorcery points is a huge advantage for them. The class that gets the most out of this is literally the one that's using it.
I can definitely see some others using it, though.
A wizard will definitely get some use out of this, because now you can pick up subtle spell.
Mm-hmm. For 1 point, you can cast any a spell, no verbal, no somatic,
or careful spell. You can exclude people out of area effects. So if you're not the
fireball,
the invocation wizard,
safe.
If you're not the invocation wizard, now you have the ability to pick people out of it.
Wait, does it actually make them safe, or does it just give them advantage on the saving throw?
Actually makes them safe.
Oh wow, nice.
Take them out of it. Yeah. They automatically succeed on a saving throw.
Okay, so they're still going to be taking damage, but not as much.
So sort of safe.
Yeah.
But I can't really see this being used for any class aside from probably a cleric. Well, bards might get some use out of it, I guess. Warlock, subtle spell, basically subtle spell.
Well, you could twin spell.
Yeah, if it's single target.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the warlocks have Eldritch Blast that end up having multiple targets, but that's. I think you're
Quicken
really
spell.
Quicken spell, yeah.
So now your Eldritch Blast that normally has 2 or 3 attacks, you can one turn, pop. You've got 4 to 6 attacks now.
Yeah. You could also do increase the duration of a spell, so you can turn your mage armor from 8 hours to 24 hours, or whatever it is.
16. It doubles it.
Which is...
Or your invisibility can last 1 hour to 2 hours now.
Yeah. So, a lot of uses, but really the ones that's going to get the most bang for their buck out of this is a sorcerer.
Yeah, because you're getting 2 additional sorcery points, 2 extra metamagic options. Granted that those sorcery points can only be spent on these metamagic.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Or not these metamagics, but any metamagic.
Yeah, which is fine, because you're probably already going to use those for mostly metamagic anyway.
Yeah.
So saying I only can use 2 for specific metamagic is just guaranteeing, in my case, a subtle spell.
Yeah, well, I think they word it like that because you could be the shadow sorcerer, and you could spend 2 sorcery points to cast a darkness spell, but you couldn't do it with this.
Yeah. So, pretty interesting feat, or not a whole lot of extra to it, but it does add more. It's just
because more metamagic options is that's what you want as a sorcerer.
It doesn't really have a whole lot of roleplay value to it. It's just giving you more.
I mean, roleplay, I would want to understand why somebody has these sorcery points. Like what happened? What caused them to get these metamagics? Did they train from somebody? Did they
become innate? I guess as a wizard, you've learned a lot of your spells have become innate in some way. You've learned how to work a little bit better.
That's kind of your way of like getting a mastery over this spell.
Yeah, but outside of that, There's not a whole lot, I don't think.
Nah, like I mean, apart from like how you acquired it, yeah. I mean, it's something you could flavor up during combat. It's kind of weird. Why is the wizard casting using metamagic? Like, why? How did the wizard cast 2 spells in one turn?
Yeah. Or how did the cleric suddenly touch 2 people?
Yeah,
and cure wounds with 2 people. But it's still cool. It's just a good solid feat. If that's what you're going for, it's gonna do you well.
All right. So the next one we're going to be talking about is skill expert, and this one's pretty simple. I mean, you increase 1 ability score of your choice by 1. That's nice.
That's really good.
You gain proficiency in 1 skill of your choice.
That's also nice. Extra proficiencies are always good.
Mm-hmm. And you choose 1 skill in which you have proficiency, and now you gain expertise in that skill,
which doubles your proficiency,
mm-hmm.
Making you really, really good at something.
And it can't be the skill that you just gain proficiency with using skill expert. It has to be one that you were already proficient with beforehand.
So this is one of those ones that shores up a particular skill, just saying, I am so good at this, stop making me roll this die. you know, that's basically what expertise is saying, is I am now, because there's no auto fails in skills.
No.
But there's a way to make sure that you're just really good at something.
Yeah.
And gaining this extra proficiency, so now maybe you have a +3 to your proficiency right now, and you go from a 7 to a 10, and saying you have an extra 15% chance on any given roll to always pass is big. It's a big bonus. Even +2 on a particular proficiency, an extra 10% chance on any given thing is big, especially when you're dealing with persuasions and deceptions. Once somebody starts beating those particular numbers, DMs start going, okay, well, I guess you talked them into it, making them a little bit more malleable.
Yeah, I mean, given a circumstance, I could definitely see somebody trying to be like getting this and being like, oh, I rolled a 29 on that. I talked him into anything. I'm sorry, the king is not going to give you his crown.
It's still the caveat to it. No matter how good they roll, there's some things that are just impossible.
Yeah.
But now, you're expert at climbing. I mean, and athletics.
It's going to be really hard for people to spot you when you hide.
Yeah.
Maybe your passive perception has gone up now.
Yeah. Double in perception. Now you're eagle. You spot things when it's coming around.
Yeah.
Role play value is just more of,
depends on what skill you pick.
Right. And it could just be, well, I've done it enough now that obviously I've learned some tricks. And that's all this is really saying, is that you've done this so many times that you've learned enough tricks that you're an expert at.
Yeah.
And because I've done this particular thing so many times, I've picked up another trade. Maybe you weren't proficient in deception before, but now that you're an expert at persuasion, you've also learned how to lie to people better than you did before.
Definitely makes sense.
Or the fact that you're so good at athletics, well, that's affected your acrobatics. Now you're proficient in acrobatics.
Hardcore parkour.
Yeah, exactly. Or vice versa. There's ways that you could say this, but honestly, not a whole lot to the feat.
Yeah, it is what it is, and the roleplay value is going to be determined by what you choose.
Yep.
Which, I mean, persuasion, insight, perceptions are going to be most of those.
Yeah, or histories. Maybe you're book learned.
Yeah.
really, really book learned. You've taken the time to learn a lot about history and nature or whatever else.
And hiding.
Yeah, also just really depends on the campaign. Obviously, skills matter in the campaign that you're playing. So this one will shore up a skill that keeps showing up during the campaign.
Yes.
Over and over and over again. Your DM's constantly going, make a perception check. Make a perception check. Well, okay, I'm an expert at perception. Can we stop that now? Mm-hmm. Can I just say I see it? That's a good thing for the players, is just saying, well, I'm good at this all the time.
Yeah. Or maybe you're maybe you're a person that trained in stealth, but you're also wearing heavy armor, so now you just pick up the expertise in it so that you quit getting the party noticed when you guys are doing stealth rolls.
Yeah. Definitely an option. But that's pretty much a skill expert.
Yeah.
It's a good feat if you're going that direction.